My name is Lori Haas. I'm the mother of a survivor of the tragedy at Virginia Tech. The General Assembly passed much legislation in response to the massacre last year, and for that I thank the members serving on this committee who were part of the General Assembly last year that did this for all the citizens and for all the families. Law enforcement at all levels across this state have spent time with me in the last year and a half, and I'm grateful for that. The sad thing that they have told me repeatedly is the next one's coming. With much dread and much fear on their face, the next one is coming. I fear it, and everyone in this room should fear it. There's likely another sick individual out there right now. Knowing he can't get a gun legally, he may just show up at a gun show to secure his weapon, right along with thousands of others who attend these gun shows. These are not private sales. There were 64 gun shows in Virginia in 2007, according to state police records. That's more than one a weekend. 5,700 people showed up at a gun show in Richmond, Virginia in mid-November. Some gun show promoters advertised 20,000 plus attendees over a 2 or 3 day weekend with over 1,000 exhibitors. How many of those exhibitors are individual sellers? We don't know, because we're not allowed to track that information. Gun show vendors have petitioned ATF to not show up at the gun shows. These are not some backyard swap of a few guns. These shows are big business. With these kinds of numbers, how can anyone call the transactions occurring at a gun show private? There's nothing private about them. You may have an individual trying to sell one gun. You may have an individual trying to sell 2, but you may have an individual trying to sell 50 or 100. And just because the seller is not licensed, his transaction at this type of venue is not private. There's nothing private about selling your gun in a 10,000 or 20,000 square foot exhibition hall with between 5,000 and 20,000 attendees, each of which is paying $7 a head. Somebody's making a boatload of money out there. Sure, the hope is that the attendees at these gun shows are all law-abiding citizens, and I suspect that most are. But law enforcement tells us that is not the case. They are not all law-abiding citizens. How do you know who is deemed eligible to make a purchase at a gun show and who is not? It is quite simple. Do a background check on all transactions. You can easily solve the problems presented by Mr. Petto this morning. Don't address the federal license issue. That's a federal law. Address the safety issue here in the state of Virginia by asking for a background check from a purchaser. They're willing to do it at a gun shop. They're certainly willing to do it at a gun show. The next one is coming. Are any of you really willing to take the chance that the next mass killing might be by a person who gets his gun at a gun show? Mr. Kilgore, excuse me for being rude, but you're laughing and I'm speaking. Okay, we don't know the answer, and that may be something that state police could look into, but obviously not. I'm sorry. Okay. I'll repeat my words. The next one is coming. Are any of you really willing to take the chance that the next mass killing might be by a person who gets his gun at a gun show, just because he knew he could avoid a background check? They do it all the time. You have the opportunity to show the citizens of Virginia and the Virginia Tech families that you care about our safety. The next one is coming. recommend background checks on all purchases and transactions at a gun show.